When we say time, in the yogic perception, which ultimately modern physics will come to someday, hopefully, is time is the basic aspect of creation. Because of time, there is gravity. Because of gravity, everything else. Right now, the problem with modern physics is they have reasonably understood the other forces, they're unable to understand what's gravity. Gravity is a consequence of time. It's not the other way round. Because there is time, there is gravity. The word time itself may not conjure that image in your mind. The Sanskrit word is correct, it's kala. Kala means two things, time and emptiness. Kali, not talking about the Devi. Kali means what? Empty. Kala means darkness, kala means time, and it also means emptiness. If you try to speak with little more personified context, we will call this Shiva. So we are talking about time and emptiness, time and nothingness as the same thing. Because there is time, there is creation. Because what we call as creation exists, there is gravity, because to maintain the integrity of a little bit of physicality in this vast kala, you need some force to hold it together. So, gravity is only when time bends in a certain way. Time which is nothingness, time which is emptiness, takes a curve. When it takes a curve, physical dimension begins. If it doesn't take a curve, physical does not exist. So when we say spiritual process, you're trying to get out of the curve, because whatever curves ultimately will go in circles, isn't it? So because you experience time as a consequence of the curve that it took, you're understanding time as the spin of the planet, as the rotation of the moon and the sun and whatever else. But when we refer to kala, we are talking about time in a more fundamental way, that it is emptiness, it is nothingness, it is clear space is time. We are always… the modern concept is talking about time and space as two different things. We are talking about time and space as one thing. The existential is gravity. The non-existential presence that is there is kala or kali or emptiness or time or whatever you want to call it, or darkness. All these things symbolize the same thing. So if somebody travels in time, he's lost his mind. Really. I know books are written about it. Don't ever believe. Please, I want you to understand. You throw up a new concept. Let's say a scientific community throws up a new concept, or philosophically some new concept comes. Instantly, there will be 100 authors in America. First 80 will come from America, next 10 will come from India maybe these days. They will write books about how they experience this concept which may not even exist. Powerful books will be written. And one generation will grow up on that and it will die. Next generation has not even heard about what the books that were popular in 70s and 80s, this generation has not even heard about those things which shaped those people's psyche completely. So this time travel business, this near-death stuff that's going on, these are popular subjects right now. I would advise you write a book. You'll sell well, make money, it's all right. If it's your survival, write something. But if you're seeking, don't bullshit yourself into something and you'll get lost. Don't do time travel. because you cannot do time travel. And anyway, Nobel Prize wouldn't mean anything to me, I would be too embarrassed by such things. So, this story, because I will make it so brief, there could be holes in it. If I make it elaborate enough, there'll be no holes in the story, it's a perfect theory. And we have proved it within ourselves that it is true. But you want to build a $10 billion instrument under the ground to prove the same thing, it's up to you. This can be experientially proved within yourself if you are willing to go into the depths of what this is. Because this is made exactly the same way the whole universe is made. If you go deep enough into this and you know how this is made, by inference, you know how everything in the universe is made. By inference. And even now, science is also only inferring. Today modern science has admitted that it's an ever-expanding universe or an endless universe. Rather, ever-expanding is a yogic term, they are calling it an endless universe. If it's an endless universe, trying to travel across the universe and find out the nature of the universe is untenable, isn't it? Simply out of question. The only way you could know the nature of the universe, nature of the creation and the source of creation is by going inward, because whatever you ate in the morning, whether it's a idli or a dosa or a banana, has been transformed into a human being in the last few hours. Nobody else can do this except the source of creation. So if the source of creation is right here, if you want to know anything about creation, isn't it the best place to consult? If you want to know anything about creation, isn't the source of creation the best place to consult? And if you had to go to heaven for this, you could give it up. If it is right here, why don't you consult? Simply because you're too enamored by your own thought. You think you are going to capture the whole universe with your thoughts. It is a foolish way to approach. The only reason why science has survived is because of technology. It keeps throwing out technologies. If no technologies were coming out of science, they were just talking about all the things that they have been talking, people would have beaten them down for the money that they spent. And it's happened in the past, when there were no technologies and people just spoke science, they were beaten down, isn't it? Thought we'll do a little experiment. This is just to show you how quickly it's going bad, right here as we sit. This is not just happening to the food, this is happening to your body, this is happening to the whole world in a certain way. If there is food in your body, it would happen to you much more. That is, in 2 hours' time, your energies will age by approximately 28 days. We'll keep watching this as it goes by. So right now it's still okay. You watch this in the next 1.5 hours. You will see things will change about this food as we sit here, okay? We will leave it now, it'll mature. See how quiet it has become now? Not very enthusiastic. The first time we held it, it was clearly going this way. Right now it is simply… it is still not totally tamas, it is moving there, it's almost there. You will see in another 15–20 minutes, if you check it, it will be going anti-clockwise. So if this was in your stomach right now, 7 o'clock, if you had your dinner and you were sitting here, this would be happening within you. So I thought it's better, it happens outside, than within you because food will rot in the stomach. If we go by the physical sciences, if we examine you by the limitations of physical sciences, on one level, you're just heart, liver, kidney, lungs and whatever. We know today they're all replaceable. Are you replaceable? Let's see what's happening to the sambar. Are you able to see this? Actively going negative. In these 3 hours, what happens in 28 days is happening right here. It is happening to your body right now as you sit here. You should be able to notice it, but you're not able to notice it, so the sambar is telling you what your brain is not able to tell you. We are watching it only for less than 40 minutes. In an hour's time, what is nourishing food is turning into poison. If you eat this, what will happen? Will I die? Unfortunately, you don't. Why I'm saying unfortunately is, if you eat this, if you immediately fall dead, they would have passed a law. On an eclipse day, nobody should eat the cooked food. But because it's subtle, water today, we know about this in so many ways. In India, tirth, in every temple there's a tirth because water is capable of memory and intelligence. Today, much research has gone into this. Every molecule of water molecules which gather and make into water cells, they have a phenomenal capability to remember things. Everything that happens around the water, it remembers. Everything that it comes in contact with, it remembers. It is alive. It is alive and intelligent. Water behaves just about the same way as human nervous system behaves. If you take this water and just look at it with a certain emotion, immediately the molecular structure will change. If you look at it with a different kind of emotion, it will change differently. It is no more your grandmother talk. Even today in traditional southern Indian homes, if you go and see, water is kept like a deity, understand? With vibhuti, with sacred ash smeared on it and properly worshipped. Every day it is worshipped before you drink, because we've always been conscious that water has memory